Garrett Thompson, and 31-year lifelong resident of Moscow, and property owner in Legacy Crossing, and the ex-property owner of the Alturas Technology Park. And all 6 of you guys have continuously beat on your tambourines about anti-growth, no growth, anti-business. And I'm also a local developer, and perception becomes reality. Why should I invest in this town if all you guys keep on talking about is anti-growth and no growth?
We'll let you, but we're going to let Rebecca and Art answer first.
I'd rather do the other ones. Oh, Gary, you pose a good one. Sometimes perception flirts with reality in a lot of ways. And the perception of Moscow as being anti-business, I don't think really is the way Moscow is. I don't think we're any more or less pro or anti-business than any other municipality in the state. What we need to do is just convince people that we're going to chart a path for the city that has been, by and large, what I think the majority of citizens here are. And that's a moderate, just a nice moderate course without going too far one direction or the other. There's only so much you can do to promote business growth before you slide into giving favoritism to new growth at the expense of people who are already here running businesses. Sometimes business too also involves an element of risk. Sometimes you got to take the dice and toss them, take the best chance you can with something, and yeah, you're hanging a lot of money out over the edge, but sometimes you have to do it in order to benefit not only your own self, but the city at large. And as the tide of economics begins to rise, it can float all of the boats instead of just a few. And just looking at it from a unitary, monolithic point of view, I think kind of betrays the larger desires and aspirations of the rest of the community.
Thank you, Rebecca?
I think basically how I'd like to address that is that I feel like, I'm a newbie again, but I've been hearing different people say these things, and I think that some of this rumor is grounded in stuff that happened long ago. I think people have to get past grudges. I think folks have to be able to get together and talk about, brainstorm ideas for growth, somehow get folks together. We had an opportunity, was it a week or 2 ago, for the when we had the GMA report. After that, if something had been planned into that program where afterwards it's like, given this information, what do we all think about how we can get together? What are our brainstorms about? What we can work together on? I guess that's, I'm an idealist, I'm a positive, optimistic kind of person, and I think that if that some of this anti-whatever it is kind of just perpetuated actually in our own community. And that if people would stop sort of whipping that up and start going in different directions, that would be really helpful.
Thank you, Rebecca. Well, Nancy, and then Walter, and then Bill.
Garrett, thank you for the question. I wanted to leap up and applaud you because that's the same question I'm asking. I don't fully understand the rationale for the negativity being perpetuated by some members of our own business community, except that it seems to be motivated toward a political outcome in this case. The last time I heard it in this way was in 2009 during that campaign season. Steve Peterson's so far just executive summary of a study gave the bad news. And I don't think anybody is refuting that statistics speak for themselves, but I do think that it needed to be a more balanced view because there are a number, as you know, new business startups, expansions, transitions that are successful in our community. And when I go to Boise and when I have a glowing letter from the Department of Labor Director, Roger Madsen, who said, congratulations on all the forward-thinking efforts and successes going on in the city of Moscow. We heard that from former Director Dietrich. We just secured some GEM fund from the state. So others around the state and around the nation are looking at Moscow as a model of success. And if we can carry the good news story, as you'll see in our commercial real estate endeavors, Shelley Bennett's own website talks about that, We see it in our chambers of commerce in Moscow and Pullman, both of our universities. They're saying, come to this place. It's a great place to bring your family, your employees, and to start your business or expand your business. So invest. Thank you, Garrett.
Thank you, Walter.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bill?
We're talking about the anti-business perception because it's what we're having people talk to us about. So we don't go around saying it, preaching it, and putting signs in our cars. It is out there. When this previous city council did not let Walmart build a super center on the east side of town, how do you call that anything but being anti-business? There was zoning proposed that would preclude them from being able to do what they wanted to do. That's anti-business to me. There's been commercial property tax increases in Moscow over the last 5 or 6 years. Over half of them came from the remodel of the Walmart when we finally sent letters and got them to come back to Moscow to do just that. So we do things, and as far as getting a gym grant, that's $50,000. Money's money, but it's not going to carry this community.
Thank you.
Garrett, thank you for the question. And I'm going to refer back to my original comments that I made, my opening comments about my management experience. Getting people together, talking, getting things done, and focus. And that's what we need to do. As mayor, that's what I plan on doing, Gary. Getting groups together, getting people together, not doing the political thing where we talk about all this stuff in the air, but making things actually happen. I'm a normal guy, I'm not a politician. I'm about fixing things, and it's going to be about focus. And that's what we lost, Gary, is the focus on what happens when we do, like what Walter just mentioned, we kick a Walmart out of here. It's connotated, and it gives us a black eye. That's what Bill Lambert's about fixing. Thank you, folks.
Thank you, Bill. John, if you want to respond to this, what I'm going to do is give you a little bit of extra time on your closing statement because it's now 1 o'clock or very close to it. And I want to thank all of you for being so patient. I know there are lots and lots of questions, but the candidates probably will stick around so that you will have an opportunity to ask them here. I have a great question to ask them, and I'm going to forego that. So you will have that opportunity to ask them later too. Anyway, John, I would like for you to start with the wrap up. You have a minute plus what,